Level 1, the slave. You are standing in a market square in Rome, 73 BC on a Tuesday in October when the heat should be done but isn't. The auctioneer's voice carries across 40 feet of packed dirt and indifferent faces. You don't speak Latin yet. You understand the number, 800 sesterces. That is what you cost. Not what you are worth, what you cost. A man in a gray tunic writes something on a tablet. He doesn't look at you when he does it. You are transferred to a wooden cart with 11 other men. None of you speak the same language. You think you know what is happening. You don't. Level 2, the recruit. The ludus is a stone square in the middle of nowhere. You wake before the sun and eat barley and dried figs and water. A trainer named Draco hits you across the shins with a wooden rod every time your stance breaks. Your stance breaks 23 times the first day. By the fourth week, it breaks twice. By the third month, it doesn't break at all. You are becoming something. You do not have a name for it yet. The other men call you by a word in their language that means the one who doesn't fall. You learn the word. You learn to eat pain the way other men eat bread. Without thinking about it, without tasting it, because you need it to keep moving. Level 3, the fighter. Your first bout is against a man from Thrace with a curved sword and a small round shield. The crowd is 6,000 people and the sound is a physical thing. It presses against your chest. You feel it in your back teeth. You have trained for 14 months for this moment. The Thracian cuts you along your left forearm in the first 40 seconds. You don't feel it. You put him down in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. The crowd roars and you stand in the blood-soaked sand and feel something you have no word for. Not pride. Something older than pride. You look at your hands. They are already someone else's hands. Level 4, the crowd's man. You have won 7 bouts. They give you a name now. The crowd names you. They paint it on the walls outside the arena. Women bring flowers to the gate of the ludus. A senator's wife sends a letter. You are given slightly better food, a slightly larger cell, a clay cup that is your own. The lanista, your owner, stands behind your wins and takes 70% of your prize money. You have no access to the rest. You fight when he says fight, you eat what he allows. The flowers outside the gate belong to a version of you that lives only in the crowd's imagination. The man inside the cell is property. Level 5, the veteran. 11 victories. 3 of the men you fought are dead. You did not choose this. The crowd chose it with their thumbs, and the editor of the games honored the crowd, and the lanista didn't stop it because dead opponents are good for business. You remember their faces, you don't know their names. One of them had a scar on his chin shaped like a crescent moon. You think about the crescent moon sometimes, when you are trying to sleep. A new recruit arrived last week. He is 19 and terrified and looks at you the way you once looked at the veterans. You say nothing. There is nothing to say that won't make it worse. Level 6, the Primus. You are now the headline bout. You fight last. You fight the best men from the best ludi across 3 provinces. Your face is on commemorative pottery. Children play fight in the street using your name. The Senate debates whether men like you should be allowed to own property. The debate itself is proof that you exist in a category that requires debate. You have been injured 4 times. Your left knee no longer straightens fully. You calculate, without intending to, how many more bouts your body can sustain. The number you arrive at is a small number. You do not share it with anyone. Sharing it would make it real. Level 7, the legend. 19 victories. The crowd chants your name before you enter the arena. Senators invite you to their dinners as spectacle. You sit at the edge of the table and eat and smile and say what men in your position say, and when you leave they talk about you the way they talk about a prize animal. A philosopher named Marcus approaches you after one such dinner and tells you that you are free in your mind even if not in body. You look at him for a long moment, then you eat a fig and say nothing. Freedom in the mind is a gift men give you when they cannot give you the real thing. You stop attending dinners. Level 8, the survivor. 24 victories. You have seen 9 men die in front of you. The lanista offers you rudies, a wooden sword, the symbol of freedom. The offer comes with conditions. 3 more bouts, 2 of which he has already promised to powerful men who have paid significantly. You take the offer, there is no other offer. You fight the first bout and win in 4 minutes. You fight the second and win in 8 minutes with a cracked rib and a gash above your right eye that requires 11 stitches of rough thread. The crowd stands. You stand in the sand and feel nothing where the roar used to land. Level 9, the Freeman. Rudy's in hand. Legally free. You have 940 sesterces saved. What the lanista couldn't take. You rent a room above a tanner's workshop on the edge of the city. It smells of acid and hide. You sleep 11 hours the first night and wake reaching for a weapon that isn't there. You have no trade but this one. 2 men approach you within a week. A Ludus owner in Capua wants you to train fighters. The money is acceptable. The alternative is the street. You take the job, you walk into the training yard on your first morning and see 30 men in the stances you learned 9 years ago. The youngest one can't hold his shield arm straight. You pick up the wooden rod. Level 10, the Echo. You are 41. Your left knee is bone on bone. You train fighters who are better than you were at their age, and some of them will die in front of crowds who have already forgotten your name. The city has a new headline bout. A man from Germania with 11 victories and a nickname painted on 14 walls. He is what you were. He doesn't know what he is becoming. You watch his bout from the upper tiers in a plain brown tunic, anonymous, eating bread and olives. He wins. The crowd shakes the stone. He stands in the sand and looks at his hands. You look at your hands. Somewhere right now, a man stands in a dusty market square in October heat, and a wooden tablet is being written, and a cart is waiting, and 800 sesterces is changing hands, and he thinks he knows what is happening. The cycle continues.